Right, Aaron, take us back to the early days of Ambl. What problem were you focused on solving, and why did you believe it was the right time to build a business?
So the business started, so I was in banking and finance in the city for like 9 years. And I had like high net worth clients and corporate clients and things like that. And it got to a stage where we were like just taking people out for dinner, you know, as part of the job. And I remember my manager saying to me, okay, we've got six clients coming into town tonight, need to find a table. I was like, in the next 2 hours. So, and obviously when people ask you to do and find a table, it's a chore. So I went on Google and I typed restaurants near me, a few popped up. Went on a couple of apps and it was the same restaurants like Painsby at the top and just clunky to use. Google restaurants near me, 1, 2, 3, 4 restaurants popped up, called one, no answer, second one, no answer, third one, went on the website, didn't have availability, fourth one, had no website. I was like, what the hell? Why can't I just say 6 people, need a table, and it can like ping out and a restaurant can go, yeah, we've got space. So like Uber for bars and restaurants. That was literally the idea, because it was just after COVID and that was a stage where the world changed, where everything was like you click a button and it arrives, be it shopping, food, groceries, whatever. And I was like, that doesn't exist for that same I want it now doesn't exist for finding a table. So I literally, it was November 2021 at the time. And I just started walking around London in the pissing rain, speaking to restaurants, going after work. So that was like the busy times. So it was really difficult to speak to people and just being like, look, I've got this idea. What if you could see people in the area? Because right now you build a website, you please God that people come through Google and Instagram and things like that. But there's so much traffic, you don't know what's going on, you can't see people. But what if we flip that on its head and you could see someone going, I need this, and actually respond to them? Like how an Uber driver takes a job, but it's just a restaurant. And like within 3 months, we raised 100K and 200 restaurants pre-signed up to say, yeah, we want this product. And then I quit my job and started to build it. And that was the start.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was. But for 3 months, I did that straight every day after work.
Whilst working?
Yeah, I'd sleep in, because I live in Southend, which is like an hour and a half from Hammersmith, which is where I was working. So it was an awful commute, like 3 hours a day. So some days I would stay overnight in London in like these like Earl's Court hotels, like 30 quid a night, and then do the same again, go to work. Yeah, just to build up knowledge, and all these restaurants wanted it.
And obviously what me and Sam do is services, right? So, you know, if we were half decent at our job, we knew it was going to work starting out in business. But for you, you know, we weren't reinventing the wheel. For you, it's something completely new. So when was that point where you thought this is actually going to work and, you know, you were successful in your full-time job? When was the point where you're like, right, I need to sack this off and actually give this my all? Was it when the money came in?
No. Well, that was like, okay, fine, now we'll start. I didn't think it was going to work when I quit my job. Like, you hope it works and you bet on yourself to make it work, but there was no actual proof that it was going to work other than people going, yeah, this is great, and restaurants wanted it and some investors backing it. Like, that's enough to start the business. But that's not guaranteed, okay, this is a slam dunk. And I think we all went into it like, okay, it is. It's not like that. But there's been times now over the last, 3 years now, where nearly 4 years, where, okay, you can start to see it work. Like, for example, I've been on the tube and I've heard people talking about it and actually showing their friends it, right? We've got now some of the biggest restaurant names globally paying us. We've got investors from the industry. We've got 15,000 people a month using the app. So like, it's starting to work. It's not where I want it to be, and it's been way harder than I thought it would, but it's starting to work. It doesn't just like work from day one. Not with something like this. With your business, yeah, like, you're good at what you do. Why do it for someone else? Makes sense. This is yeah. And also, what we're building hasn't really been done in the way we're doing it. It's not a proven thing, and most of the time, it's not.
How did you go about the actual tech behind it? The back end side of it. Because I'm guessing you're not
a touchy subject. I think
a techie guy.
Well, this is a good point.
For me, if I come up with an idea, the thought of then having to create the tech and then build it from scratch scares me a little bit. So I sometimes back off from an idea, but
no, without a doubt,
it'd be interesting to hear.
It's a good point, and you know, if we're talking about giving advice to people that actually want to start a tech, like if you're doing what you're doing, you've done it in the best way. You team up with the best person you know and the person you trust the most, and you just go for it because you're both good at the same thing. Whereas this, like I did it with my best friend. Now he's more technical than me, but he was a tech recruiter, so he had a good pool of people that we could go to, and I'm just a sales guy. So, but we just both work hard and trust each other, so we had that element. But I get asked that question a fair amount. And I would advise that if you're going to start a tech company, get a technical co-founder, because you will just have 10 times more cost than you need. And we're not talking about a few extra grand, hundreds of thousands of pounds in costs of tech people. It's unreliability that it's not theirs as well. So you've got all these problems to come in. So if you are starting a tech company, you've got to have a technical co-founder. And also when you go to investors and institutional investors, like they want that. You know, they want to have a technical co-founder. So that was something that in the early days, we found ways around it, but it's definitely still mess that we're cleaning up now. Luckily, we've got our own internal tech team that we've hired, so it's okay now, but it was tough. Without a technical co-founder, you need that. Sure.
Something you touched on then that we get asked, well, I get asked all the time. What's it like co-founding a business with your best friend? Now, it was different for me and Sam because we'd only known each other a short amount of time. We sort of became best friends, brothers, partners throughout growing the business. You've been best friends for years, and so you
didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought you were mates before.
We were mates. We were. But 6 months. 6 months we've known each other. We're very close, but we weren't lifelong childhood friends like you and Jed. I obviously know Jed. I know you. It's kind of yin and yang, like me and Sam.
Very much.
You know, in answer to that question, when people ask you it, what's it like working with your best friend? How do you kind of draw the line between friendship and you're my business partner?
I think you pick. You can't be best friends in the way that you were before, because every time we're with each other, we're talking about work, and we both have the same amount at stake. So we've got this common ground that no one else has. It's not like we leave at 5, 6 o'clock, go back home, come back, and how was your evening? Like we're both in the same boat together. But I trust him implicitly, and I think that outweighs more than anything. You know. Is he working as hard as he can? Does he trust me? Do I trust him? Yeah, 100%. Has it been much harder because we're not technical and we're running a tech company and we're not in hospitality? Yeah, of course it has. It's been way harder, but, you know, we're still here. So I wouldn't have changed it. I wouldn't change it.
He's the right business partner for you.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And, you know, you can pick that wrong and that's your business done. So it's not about it whether it was working or not. You have the wrong business partner or founder. Good luck. We've never not wanted the same outcome. We've never disagreed on any direction the business has gone, ever.
Neither have we, and that's really... By the way, if Jed's watching, I'm not trying to out him there by asking. It's just something we always get asked.
No, it's not outing him.
It's interesting,
He'd say the same
right?
thing. He'd say the same thing.
Yeah, I hope you would.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, mate. Yeah.
Once I've turned my back, it's like, that can's nightmare to work with.
No, but it's a similar journey to us, isn't it? Like we started as mates, and then we've obviously evolved with the business.
But that's a good way, because you met kind of through work in the same space, so you know you were both good at it. I'm lucky that I've known Jed for that long, and we're the same mindset, same skill set. We want the same thing. You know, it's not like, because I've got loads of friends for 25, 30 years ago, but you can't just start a business with your mate. You know, it's got to be the right skill set as well, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Was there a moment where things genuinely could have gone either way, and what helped you push through?
Every day, mate. Every fucking day. Wake up and I'm like, today could be amazing, or everything could go wrong. Like, you know...
Feel you, brother.
Yeah. Like a few months ago, we had to get rid of one of our developers that we had for months because he basically didn't build what we needed, and we missed the whole deadline of our launch. And then that's just a lesson learned. Like, wow, if I'd done something about that sooner, we'd be in a much different position. It wouldn't have cost me the tens of thousands of pounds in wasted time.
What could you have done different in that?
Just acted faster.
Yeah.
Just not been so... I mean, I'm not lenient as it is, but I shouldn't have... Like, if something smells bad, it is bad, you know? So, like, if you've got that in the bit... And it was just like give it a bit of time, see if it happens, see if it picks up, da-da-da-da. Never did. So that just cost us more than I kind of realised at the time. That's just one example of, staffing has been the biggest, makes or breaks. And I believe that staffing makes or breaks a business for sure. And most of the problems come from people, for sure. Not because they're doing anything wrong, but that's all. But it's not, and it's sometimes also not their fault. It's all on the founder's fault. It's like it all falls on you, right? So people has been the biggest problem.
I mean, we see it firsthand on a day-to-day basis, with a lot of our clients.
Best out of anyone.
That's what we add is that, deeper screening processes, understanding cultures, understanding businesses on a real deep level. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, the people that we represent to your business are going to be the right ones
100%.
to go through with your growth.
For me, it's the best investment you can make is the right people. Like, we've hired cheap before, we've hired expensive, we've taken gambles on people, and some have worked out, but it's stressful. And what you want is just to go for an A team of like a lean A team, people that are all working towards the same vision and mission, and that will be the best thing you can do. So yeah.
And when you have hired good people, you've hired bad people, what are the key traits that you look for now? And obviously, you mentioned you may have made a couple of mistakes in your recent hiring or previous hiring.
Good question.
What are the key differences that you've seen, on a day-to-day basis in your business?
I'd say there's two things really for me. Is like, are they evolving? Because with a startup, everything's changing so quickly and moving so quickly. Like, are they moving with the pace? Like, are they evolving quickly enough? Like, are they able to sell to bigger people? Are they able to market in a different way? Are they able to look at the tech different and build it in a way where we're not being left behind? Or are they just sort of doing what they're doing, like going through the motions, Because you can't do that. It's not a big company. And the thing is where the Ambl is at right now, it's way too big for me to run on my own, but it's too small for anyone to fuck up. So it's in that middle ground. So like, are they doing everything that possible to make this work? Are they thinking outside the box? Can I trust them to do that? Are they just building the tech and then leaving it and then, oh shit, I didn't think about that. That can't happen. Mm. And then it's a culture thing. And I don't care how good someone is, if they're not, with the culture, or they're not helping or making people feel a certain way, then they're gone regardless of how valuable they are. Because you need people to want to show up. You need people to want to work. You need people to, and I don't want my team to like leave on a Friday and be like, thank God for that, and then wake up on a Sunday and go, oh, I've got work tomorrow. That's what I don't want. So just trying to get all that right.
Touching on team culture then, you've got teams in the UK, we're obviously sat in Dubai from memory, you've got some in Asia, South Africa. How do you keep that collaboration and that sort of team culture globally? Because we've tried hiring abroad and we struggle with it, to be completely honest. Different time zones, not being with people, especially in sales, right? You need to be a big sponge. How do you sort of cope with that?
Good question. So I'm here right now, so I'm with the team here. Jed is in the UK with the UK team, and then we've got a head of product in South Africa. I've basically got a team lead in each region that I know well and trust and has been with the business for a very long period of time. So, like, it's done through them. Okay. We do speak as a team twice a week, like non-negotiable calls, like weekly kickoff, and at the end of the week we do like a summary of what everyone's done and any good stuff, bad stuff, and bring it all together. But it's like, it sounds like it's a massive company. It's not, but we've got a tech team, sales team, and a marketing team, and a customer support team. And there's a lead in each of those teams. And all I'm going to do now is, as the business gets bigger, is just evolve those teams going into the person that has been there and built that department, So you can keep it still quite close-knit.
It's so important as a founder to have that layer of management underneath you that you can delegate.
It is hard, though. It is difficult.
It's probably the most difficult
role
I'd rather have
an office where everyone was in every day of the week, but that's not the case. You can't get everyone you want. It's not reality. No. Would I take an office? Like, ignoring the costs of an office. Because we had an office at a time, but even then, I found people might come in at like 9:30, and then they leave at 5, and then they're off. Like, that's it. because it's that mental switch off. Whereas now, my team will be working at 10, 11 o'clock. They'll just work. They're just working. Because as long as we hit the numbers we need, whatever, right? As long as the product's delivered on time, that's built on time, we hit that revenue number each month, this many users are achieved this month, fine. But in an office, it can, come in, people chat, you get that distraction. However, they were some of the best years of my life when I was working in London in the city and I met some of like my best friends and learn from people, and I would never have done that from home. So I do think that is, and that collaboration and just being around people and just being able to see stuff and interact, like I think that's going to be a massive problem going forward for the next generation for sure.
It's crazy. We always say to people when they say like, do you work harder now you've started your own business or when you were employed? And the way I always explain it is when you're not chained to your desk, you probably work 15 hours a day on and off. When you go to an office, it's 9 to 5. And as you said, the minute you leave, you switch off. And I'm even guilty of that now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but that's fine. Like people have this, and we're touching on this now, and might be going off a bit of a tangent, but people touch on this, working 18 hours a day as a startup founder. Like you can't. It's not sustainable. You just have to work and be on when you need to be on. You can't work 18 hours a day, 6-7 days a week.
No, it's impossible.
You'll burn out. I've burnt out.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You can't think. You're useless. So what good am I going to be to 16 people and several large investors if I'm cooked?
We did it for 6 months, honestly. We sat in my apartment in JLT for 6 months throughout summer when we launched, and we did not leave for lunches. We didn't go for walks. We just worked and worked and worked. But
you've got to do that bit. You've got to, like starting Ambl.
Yeah, you have to.
It was that. But you're in that. You're in that doing.
But you've got to get out of that as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
For your mental health as well.
Yeah.
And your
but you've got to
personal
do
life.
that bit first. Then it's like, okay, now it's all set up. Now let's do this. Now let's move it.
You're structured, don't
Because
you?
you never fully switch off.
No, you
like,
can't.
ever.
Well, it's impossible.
Like
mate.
even 9, 10 at night.
There
when
is
you're
no balance.
Watching the telly or whatever it is.
Well, you've
if an
always got
email
this in
comes
your
through,
head.
I
you're
was
looking
waking
at
up
it.
in the night. Honestly, I was waking up I was having dreams about deals and waking up in the night thinking about clients. It was.
But that's good.
But we entered the year after the first 6 or 7 months, and we said we can't do that again, and we haven't since. And the results have increased heavily. So, work-life balance definitely.
It's a mindset thing, though. It is like what happens. It is what it is. As long as you've done everything possible that you can.
But to get it off the ground,
Yeah, you've got
to get it off the
to.
ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
That initial getting it off the ground.
No one's
But
gonna
that's
do
the
it
bit
for you.
that because it's so in your control, and this is where you get the burnout from. When it's in your control, like when we were starting the Ambl, designing the app, designing the website, getting a marketing person, like signing up like venues, designing it, all that shit. That's so in your control. So it's not, you can do that for 16 hours a day because you're in control of everything. But when you're trying to chase an investor or a new big deal or a client, it's out of your control. There's nothing you can do. And that's where you start to get burnt out because you can't do anything about it and you're waiting on it and you're feeling like you feel guilty for it. But that's not the case. You can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
When it's getting it off the ground and you're doing everything, then that's the time to do those long hours.
I think you've got to enjoy the journey as well. I know it's such a cliche thing to say, but
Yeah, I hate that.
I get it, but I've got a picture of every milestone of the business. I've literally
that's
got
nice.
First day, when we got our license, first deal, everything. And sometimes when you sit and actually reflect,
I
it's
think I
like,
need to do
wow,
more of that, to be honest.
Yeah.
You should.
I never do. My
rewarding thing to
wife
do.
says, "You look how far." I'm like, I've done nothing yet. I'm like so not there where I want to be.
But that's a good thing as well.
It
because
is,
you're going to keep pushing yourself, but you do have to.
But it does
take a step back sometimes.
It does it does mess with your head.
But getting a business off the ground and lasting 2 years plus, I think it's 18 months plus, the odds of that are ridiculously low. So
Yeah, I mean, we're year 3 now.
that's what I mean. But you're in the probably 4 to 5% of global businesses don't last over 18
No,
months.
they don't. No,
Especially tech businesses as well.
Especially tech businesses.
No, and look, it's been close. Like, there's been times where I'm like, wow, this is tight, this is hard, and you've got to rethink and do things. And I think that, but what my wife said, not my wife. I was talking to her about it. I was talking to her about it because someone was like, oh, do you miss like your old job? Being paid like very good money to do, something very easy to what I feel like now, where I thought was hard at the time and it's not. I was like, I don't miss it because I feel like I'm becoming or doing what I've always meant to do, whether it works or doesn't. Who I've become, people I've met, you know, the people that have put money into my company, the people that I've hired, is a testament to what I'm doing, the validation. And I think you can't, you know,
Can't buy it, can you?
no. And there was also like a time where like we were going to buy like a fairly big house, it's like a 5-bedroom house, and I was put an offer into it. And I remember being like, the mortgage is like a third of my salary. If I keep this salary up, I can't. I'm literally just going to be working to, and if I don't lose that job, then I lose everything. I don't want that, yeah. I don't want that. Like I don't earn much money now, but I've still got a little house that we just live in. But at least I'm building something, and I'm responsible for it all, you know?
100%. Sorry, we went a bit off subject there, but talking about, obviously, your main two markets are the UK and Dubai. You know, we spoke about from a talent perspective, but talk to me about the differences in actually doing business in the hospitality industry, the differences between the UK and Dubai, or what you feel is different.
We wouldn't have been able to do Dubai without doing the UK first. The thing is with the UK or London, where we started, is there's loads of parts of London. And London was great because like we met some really great people that just allowed us to come in with a pretty ragtag product and try and get it to work. But there's so much, and London's so big that like you start with one place, you fix that, and you start to build it. When we came to Dubai, we had a relatively working product, still in MVP, but it was still relatively working. But then we were taking it to, you know, big global brands. So like 2 years ago, I'm walking around London handing out flyers to download an app to go to book pubs and bars last minute. Next thing you know, you've got Marriott, Hilton, Atlantis, Jumeirah as your clients. So it's very different. But I wouldn't have been able to get them without having some sort of proof of concept in the UK. So Dubai would never have happened had I not had, I won't say success in the UK, but I'll just say like the learnings and like support and just that allowing me to get it going. So it's hard to say like what's better and what's not. It's just allowed me to do it here. But this is the good thing about Dubai is it's a small, good quality market, especially for hospitality. So, you know, you can make something, if you can make it work, you can do it very quickly, but you need something to take to the market. You know, testing here, I don't think's a thing.
And how have you found the, let's say, business culture in Dubai in comparison to the UK? Because a lot of people obviously say this region is very network driven. It's about getting in front of people. It's about building credibility over maybe a longer period of time in comparison to the UK. UK can be, you know, transactional at times, and it works.
Yeah.
What would you say the difference is?
I've not done a massive amount of networking. I don't know if that's just because I've gone to a few things, but I don't know if that's just because like my social like battery is, you know,
0.
Yeah. And I'll just, you know, whatever, you know. But from a business perspective, like I remember like when I came here and I met like the exec team of Atlantis, the VP of Marriott, the VP of Hilton, all in a day. And that stuff you just can't do anywhere. Like great people are here. So I'm happy to like knock through any doors I need and find my way to speak to the person I need to and make sure that I own that opportunity. But I haven't done a lot of networking. Maybe I should, but I just...
And what was your approach to get in front of those people? Cold calling. Yeah.
I've got this product. I'm in Dubai. I'm 15 minutes away. Can I come and see you and show you what we're doing for the industry? If you've got 15 minutes, I want to show you. That's it.
Yeah.
And then they ignore like 15 emails and then they reply to the 16th. Great. You know? So that's what I was doing back and forward London to Dubai for like 6-7 months. Cold calling, emailing, trying to get people signed up. And then once I had 1 or 2 big names, then it was just got easier.
And was that your approach in the UK as well? You know, cold calling, or was it more door to door?
More door to door.
Yeah.
Smaller brands to start. And then we've now luckily got a really good UK sales team that are hitting the phones and bringing people on. And we're starting to get a bit known there now. So people, it's not like, what do you guys do? You know? And a lot of the businesses we started with like a couple of years ago have seen us kind of evolving and, you know, appreciate how far not just how far we've come, but like we're listening to the industry. You know, we're building something that actually hasn't been done in the way we're doing it, but is trying to add as much value as possible, you know.
And just walk us through your go-to-market strategy? Because you've talked about at the start you were, knocking doors of restaurants, you were getting in front of people, then you were, cold calling, emailing. Now you've got a team. Just walk us through that journey and how important it's been.
Well, there's two go-to-markets, right? We've got venues. So the venue go-to-market, I don't think will change, other than the fact that we've just made the product easier, quicker, better, more valuable, and more of a no-brainer. So it's just an easier sell. So how do we make the product? How do we get the sales cycle virtually down to nothing? And how do we get it where a venue or any hospitality venue goes, why the hell would we not have this? That's it. Then it's not hard to sell. When you've got a product that doesn't really do anything or is a bit of a pain for them to use, you're just making it harder for yourself. So the go-to-market is make the product as best as we can and add as much value to hospitality and get people to push it out. For the customer side, it's exactly the same thing. You can't sell a product that doesn't solve a problem. It doesn't help people. If it's difficult to use or doesn't really matter, it's not going to work. So it's the same thing, both sides. You've got to make value. We've just got to do it with both markets. And it's then not hard to sell. I think marketing is great. You need to get the word out there. But if the product's not helpful, you can't make people use something. You can tell them about it. You can't make them do it. So I think the go-to-market is trying to create the product with the most value and then just getting as many people to use it. And naturally, it grows from there whilst keeping your costs down.
And I've seen the product from day one.
Yeah.
Literally day one. We met before you'd even launched.
Yeah.
Can you, without giving too much away, because I know it's not in the public eye yet, but can you tell us where it's gone to, what's to come?
Exclusive.
I can release this after it comes out. But what's going to happen from essentially a last minute booking app to where we are today?
Yeah, so it started as a last minute booking app. So the idea was that Uber for bars and restaurants, two people, I need a table, and it ping out and restaurants would respond to you. The difficulty with that is someone's got to be on the other end. And the biggest problem that I found in the hospitality or for customers was, and I'll try and explain it as easy as possible. Let's say you're in London, Dubai, New York, whatever, just a busy city, hustling, bustling, hospitality everywhere. You've been where you've been, Paris, Dubai, trying to find a restaurant. You're Googling or trying to download something to find it. Let's say there's 5 restaurants on that street. Yeah. Every single one of them is likely to be using a different reservation platform as a back end. So there is no way for you to see availability all in one place. You've got to go website to website or Google. That's the bit that takes time. And you just want to know what's free. So what we've done is build the app where now, and this is why it's taken a couple of years in building the tech, is it connects to whatever system they're using. So you can go 2 people, I need a table, and it will do a broadcast and it will read the real-time availability every half second to actually show you the tables around you that are free and connect it to the venue so the venues don't have to do anything. Complete real time.
So it's like an aggregator.
It's an aggregator. So any city you go to, you've got one app to do anything you need to booking. And the other thing with that is, let's say you're in Dubai and you go and book all these nice restaurants here and you go to London, they're all using a different system. Well, they don't know who you are, but I do. Let's say you like red wine or you like steak or your partner is allergic to seafood or whatever. We've got all that information. So when you book that restaurant, they already know who you are rather than going in differently. And what we've also done is so we use a lot of interactive things in it as well, like the videos and the integrating the Google review, so everyone's just got everything where they need. And then we've also built an AI on top of it where you can pretty much so it's searching for restaurants easy. 2 people, Italian, pings out response, whatever. What I wanted to do is make it even, because there's so many things that you want with a restaurant. Like if I said, what's your perfect restaurant? It wouldn't just be Italian. It would be view of the Burj or I want this. I want this bottle of wine. I want this drink with my meal. With the AI we've got every single piece of information you can know about thousands of venues. So with the AI, you can literally be like, I want a view of the Burj and I want to eat tomorrow at 7:00. There's 2 of us, maybe 3. I want this bottle of wine. I want to make sure that they have this pasta dish as well. And the AI will go, not only find that restaurant, but also tell you, yeah, I can get you the table. So it literally becomes a concierge in your pocket.
Reservations for dummies, basically.
Just say whatever you want.
Voice or text. So literally, you talk into it, boom, out to the restaurants, you booked.
And in any language.
Welcome back, Aaron. How can I help you today?
Hi, Ambl. How you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. Ready to help you discover something amazing or find a reservation. What's on your mind today?
Can you tell me a little bit about what Ambl does, but in Arabic, please?
أنا هنا لمساعدتك في اكتشاف أفضل الأماكن وحجز الطاولات.
So I wanted it to be anyone can use it.
حيث أساعدك في العثور على
Okay. Book our lunch after.
Okay, so I'm with my two friends now. We're looking to go for lunch somewhere in Dubai Hills. Dog friendly, yeah. We want to eat at 2:00. So can you let us know what's free and available for 3 of us at 2:00 with the dog, please?
Might come back in Arabic.
Oh, maybe. No, I spoke back in English. I might go back to English.
So this is now doing the pings.
Yeah, so what we're doing now is getting it to be like just quicker on the AI. So it's all come through.
Now let me search for dog-friendly venues in Dubai Hills with availability for 3 people at 2 p.m. today. Let me expand the search area around Dubai Hills to find dog-friendly venues. Perfect. I found some great dog-friendly options in Dubai Hills. Let me get the details for Hill House Brasserie, which is the closest and has that relaxed vibe, perfect for lunch with your pup. I found some excellent dog-friendly options in Dubai Hills for you. Hill House Brasserie.
Oh, the date. Yeah, there we go. It's there. And then you just click it and book. Reserve. Done.
Can we go there? We can go there.
Done.
It's good.
Easy as that.
So that's
Unbelievable.
So
that's
when you
where
go,
we're at.
So then when you go to it, but then you've got the map as well. The map's still the same. So when you go to a city, like I've just landed here, I want steak, I want this. You don't have to do anything. Does it for you.
But that is solving a real life problem.
It's annoying.
Because
Yeah.
When, I was
for
obviously
dummies.
away in Christmas in Vienna, and I should have used Ambl 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I forgot to do it.
Yeah, but it's specific. Like people want what they want.
Like I was then, searching loads of different, and it probably took me a long time to
that was like
find
what, a
them
minute?
and yeah, exactly within a minute.
And a
you've
dog
already got-
friendly with
yeah.
availability.
That's what everyone wants now. It's the generation.
Convenience.
Everyone wants Q-commerce. Everyone wants everything instantly AI. They want now, yesterday, a minute ago. And that's essentially what you're doing, right?
Yeah, and this is the worst it'll ever be, and it still works now. So like we're just working on it as much as possible to make it like, because the behaviour is changing. It's not fully changed yet. You know, people are still adapting to AI and what it's going to do. But if I can create, I've already got the tech integrations. I've already built all those relationships over the last couple of years. If I can now make it where I can do that for you, like everyone's got a personal concierge, basically.
It's crazy, isn't it? And those integrations you just spoke about, I don't know how much you can talk about on this, but those partnerships you've got with those other vendors, how important have they been to the sort of
The
growth?
whole point that we exist, and the people I've met, certain people I've met at those companies. The only reason Ambl exists, because I think the only reason we got those is we've stayed in our lane and been very clear, like we want to help and unify the market, and bring business to you, and everyone wins. We've not gone about it in any other way but that. And, at the end of the day, they're still people, right? Like, so still a relationship thing. So I think just like being straight and being honest and staying our lane's been the reason that we've got the relationships. And obviously creating something that their customers are going to want, that everyone's going to want, It's been validated.
I was just going to go back to a topic that we were discussing before when you were talking about your layer of management. How easy or difficult has it been to take yourself away from the day-to-day responsibilities and actually put the trust in people to look after the different departments?
It's been easier because of the people that are in that role, because of how I am. And I respect them a lot because of how I would wake up at 5 a.m. I'm going to sound awful here. Like wake up at 5 a.m. and text my head of product to be like, we fucking missed this, da 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 da. And he's like, yeah, no stress, like da da da. Whereas most people wouldn't deal with that. And I don't take advantage of that. Now talking about it does sound bad, but I do appreciate them. And I think I treat everyone, especially the management, there is no hierarchy in this. Like we all are either going to make this work or not. And I can't try and have that culture with the management team. Like you don't work for me, technically. Yes, pay salary, but like I need you, We all need to do this. Otherwise, this is not a big company right now. So, yeah, I think it's the culture that makes it that way, which has made it easier to step away from that stuff and just let people do what they need to do. Because they know more than me about what they're doing. You know, I don't know more than my tech person. I don't know more than my head of marketing. I don't know more than my head of sales. Well, I can sell, but, you know.
Touching on that, whenever I speak to, we interview VPs of sales, sales leaders, and a lot of them always say, what's the biggest mistake when they were going through their growth trajectory? And it's always, I stopped selling. You spoke about, you always knock on doors. You're always the kind of the face of the brand.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going to go to New York, Singapore, new regions. Are you always going to be the man that shows up and knocks on those doors? Is that something that you enjoy doing?
Yeah, but I'm knocking on different doors now. I'm knocking on investor doors. I'm knocking on big hotel groups that need, like the only reason like we got the brands that we did in the region is because it's like a founder going, this is what we want to build, and no, we are not there yet, and no, you know, it's not working the way we want or whatever, but this is the plan, this is what we're going to do, and that conviction that we're going to make it work, that does need founder-led sales. But we are getting to a point where the product I feel is good enough and it will grow quickly enough where there'll be a super salesperson, head of sales that we bring in that will be able to just like take this into markets where I won't be able to do, you know, that they will be better than me at doing, you know. Founder-led sales goes so far.
And what, I guess this is going back a few steps, you worked in FX, had a, you know, relatively
Best job ever.
Or very successful career, can we say?
Yeah.
Very
Brilliant.
Successful. What skills do you think you learned there that you've took into running a business? Because they are two different things, right? Being a salesperson and being a CEO are two different jobs.
Yeah.
But what skills did you learn in your, 5 years in FX that have really helped Ambl get to the stage it's at, do you think?
FX is sales at the end of the day, same as you. Like we're just selling a different product, but there's thousands of people selling the same product to the same people, and it is a case of like people do business with people, right? Like if the person then found out they liked you, like I wasn't the only person selling FX, you're not the only people selling roles, but your clients deal with you because they trust you and like you both, and it is the same with FX. And I think it was just that ability to like connect with someone. And then people are going to do business with you because they like you. Same with investors. Like, do I trust this guy? Does he execute? You know, does he do what he says he's going to do? And that's why we've had, you know, the repeated investment. So I think it's that. The resilience, I guess, of being told to fuck off like 50 times a day helps. Whatever, innit?
Yeah, 100%.
Part of the job. Smile and dial.
Smile and dial. I mean, this. Look, you're obviously, considering you've been a CEO for 4 years, 4 years, you're 30. You're you know
CEO's
very,
up.
but
I've been a founder.
Very young,
CEO.
very young founder though, right? You were. Have you
27.
ever had imposter syndrome? Have you ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every fucking day. For sure.
Why am I here? What am I doing?
Yeah.
Do I deserve to be here?
Correct.
How'd you deal with that?
I haven't really. I haven't.
Mute it out and keep going.
That resilience from the sales probably taught you a lot. Keep going.
Yeah, man. Like it's been hard. It is definitely a case of that. I think you go back to that point we said at the start of the conversation about like the reflection. Like, okay, you've proved yourself. You've managed to bring these people in. You've managed to bring these investors in. You've managed to convince these venues, and you're still here. You know, and I think that's what you've got to realise. But it does come with that pressure, isn't it? And that's where the pressure plus the imposter syndrome is a hard place to be. A very hard place to be.
We've all had it, haven't we?
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why, like, you know, when people are like, oh, I'd love to start my own business. Like, how do I get started? I'm like, why do you want to? You know, why do you want to do that? You know, like, I think people think it's glamorous. I work my own hours, and that'd be great. It's not that. It's not that.
It's hard work.
The amount of extra stuff that you have to do in a business is mind blowing.
Yeah.
I think until you're fully in it, you don't actually realise how many different departments that you have to wear the hats for.
And the
glamorise
frequency
it,
of
don't
bad things
Yeah.
that go wrong or
And
don't
it's
happen.
more personal to you when it's when it goes bad.
Social media and LinkedIn haven't helped. They glamorise this. I'm a founder. I'm a CEO. I get up at 5 in the
And all
morning.
the videos like you can quit now and make 10 grand a month doing this. Yeah, you probably can, and those things do work. There are things that you can do that, and it is easier to make money than ever before, and it is easier to start a company than ever before. But it depends what business you're starting. Like if you're doing solo on your own and you've got like a book, like with what you did. Okay, so like let's say you both were at your full-time jobs in recruitment, and you were both like, we want to start our own recruitment company. I'd be like 100% go for it. 100% go for it because it makes sense. Both work hard, you both want to work for yourselves, and you both got that grit to do it. Got a bit of cash in the bank to see me through 6 months to try it. I'm going to go for it. The worst that's going to happen is I go back to my old job and I lose 6 months of savings. Do it. But when you start talking like, I want to build this company, we need to raise X amount of money, or we need to raise $500,000, $1 million, then you're in a different place where like that falls on you. Do you know what you're going into? Because that's where it takes a longer, bigger game where like your relationships are strained and there's lots of things going wrong out of your control. You know, so it depends what kind of business you want to go into. You know, like how much personal runway do you have, not financially, but mentally.
How did Holly take it when you told her you were quitting your £250,000 a year job to start your own business?
She turned around to me and went, that's fine. I'll go to London and get a job. And then she did.
What a woman.
Yeah, she is. That's what she did.
How important this is going.
She wasn't working either. I was letting her do you know, she was a trained dancer, so I was letting her, she didn't need to work. That was her first response.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How important is that? This is more on the personal side, but having a partner that backs you and supports you.
Like, 'cause you can talk to your parents and stuff, and you can't talk to your friends about it. Like, you talk to some friends about it. Like, we've spoken about stuff. You're in the kind of the same boat. Yeah, it is what it is. But, you know, my mum, bless her, she's like, oh, it'll be okay. You know, I might. You don't know this isn't. It's fine. It's not fine. Like, you know, but like with Holly, she's more. It's less like helping me solve the actual problems, because why am I going to go into detail about this venue or connection or integration? But it's more like just that mental. You have got
Support,
this.
yeah.
Like don't drop the ball now, sort of thing. Yeah, that's where it's been helpful. Because without that, I'd be not good.
Yeah, okay. So look, as you know, we're go-to-market recruiters. We look after revenue-generating roles, as you know. So, you know, anything that's commercial for a tech business, we help with. So how important are sales hires to you?
It's bread and butter.
And what do you look
Absolute
for?
engine room. The difference between a good and bad salesperson is massive. Bad, like, you know, tech people, like, is any good and bad employee is different. But with sales, it's like, again, it goes back to that point I mentioned earlier. They've got to connect with someone. They've got to sell something to people and convince people to pay and use that. That's a hard skill. The difference of someone doing that and being good at that is the difference of you making 20 grand a month, 50 grand a month, 100 grand a month. So for me, it's the best investment you can make for the business is having salespeople, for sure, and the right salespeople.
What do you look for when you're interviewing? Is it purely
like them?
personality based? Yeah, I was going to say.
Would I buy from them myself?
Simple as that.
Anyone can say, like, you know, we've got a guy, Alex, right, who's been with the company longer than I have. We hired him at Ambl before I quit my job. He's been for 4 years. And he was selling like gin before. Never tech, never anything. But he's just the most likable, down-to-earth guy. And he's been with us for 4 years. And he's evolved with he was selling Ambl when he was trying to like draw it on a piece of paper going, this is what it's going to look like. Do you know what I mean? And he's not moaned one fucking day. Oh, this has happened. Oh, this is slow. Oh, the product's coming out this month. Oh, no, now it's going to be 3 more months. Oh, no, we're going to have to change the commission structure again because this has changed. And now we're going to be changing this business model. We're not charging this way. Yeah, fine, cracks on. And he's built a network and people buy from him because he's great. Like, yes, of course he could be a better salesman and whatever. Of course he can improve. Everyone can, but I'd buy from him.
Yeah, I think we did a poll on it as a business, EQ and IQ. You know, what's the most important in sales? Is it being liked essentially, or having the skills?
It is definitely being liked, but obviously being a bit smart does help. Like, you know, they've got to be able to have a conversation with hopefully bigger companies and bigger people. So like, it does help. They need to know their shit, you know, and just be reliable.
And work hard.
Yeah, but because they're also very easy to replace because everyone wants to go, and there's a lot of good salespeople. You know, it's one of the easiest things to replace. So like, as long as they're good, likable, and fight for that seat, perfect.
Do you often get approached by salespeople wanting to work for Ambl?
Yeah, loads.
From the industry, from the
Yeah,
outs?
we've hired 2 recently from cold outreach on LinkedIn.
They reached out to you?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And what have I got to lose? 3 months, like, do what you said you're going to do and stay.
So salespeople technically pay for themselves if they're good at what they do.
What's the risk? With a tech person, you let someone in, you let someone go into your house and fiddle with everything. Like, that's going to cost you if that goes wrong. With a salesperson, you know, you come in for 3 months. If you don't do anything, okay, it's my risk. Like, you take on 3 months worth of salary, you know? And good salespeople know that.
So in your business, I'm a big believer in having non-negotiables on a day-to-day basis. What would be your 3 non-negotiables that you see in your employees?
3 non-negotiables. Oh, I don't know.
Got him there. He's going to have to waffle quickly for a few minutes.
Non-negotiables.
Flag it. Do you want me to tell you ours?
Yeah.
Well, ours are trust, honesty, respect. Is when we started the business, we wrote them out between us two. That was trust, honesty, respect.
Those.
Yeah. They're good though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Look,
I mean, how do you want to interpret that? Like,
Could be anything.
It could be anything.
Like, it could be
So like
timekeeping. It could be, you know, it could be.
look, I know, right? If I go on holiday for a week, that Sam's doing everything he'd do if I wasn't there. I know that if I ask him to do something, he'll do it. I know that everything he tells me is 100% authentic. 1,000,000%. I say that with chest. That's what I mean by those 3 things. And also, we don't each other. If I disagree with something, I'll tell him. If he disagrees with something, he'll tell me. It's all very open and honest, and that's what then evolves into trust and respect. Make sense?
Yeah.
I think I genuinely only can think of one non-negotiable, and that would just be transparency. I think that's the reason I've got the team I have now and the investors that I have now is because I'm just so honest. And I don't have, you know me.
Don't have a filter.
No. There's no, like, sugar. It's just, you know, and I've said to investors, like, you know, I speak to one investor every week, right? He's a bit, you know, lovely guy, big investor. And he's like, how are things? I'm like, could do without this, to be honest. You know? I say that in a jokey way, but, like, you know, I don't mind being honest about where we're at because they've mostly gone through it as well. And actually, like, they have the best, you know, they're the biggest. People can sniff bullshit, right? And as long as you're straight up and transparent, like,
The facts don't lie. Facts
don't lie. Like, even with my tech team, like, they're older than me. They're from big tech companies. Like, they're smarter than me. You know, they're older than me. They've got families and all this stuff. If I'm not honest, they're gonna know. You know, if I'm like, they're like, how things, I'm like, it's tough right now because I haven't got this or I need this. Like, what do you expect? And we just bring everyone into the same level with transparency. It's never, touch wood, you know, put me in a bad spot just being straight up.
I think there's too much fluff in this day and age and sugarcoating.
Mate,
if you look on LinkedIn, and as we touched on it earlier, LinkedIn, social media have not helped. Whereas I'm of the impression that 90% of running a business is stressful and hard. It is though, isn't it?
Yes.
Because even when you have an amazing month, amazing milestone, once it's done and that 10 seconds of enjoying it are over, you know, you're looking forward again, right?
It's hard. Like, I don't like. I don't enjoy it. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. And you know, sometimes I'm like, what the hell's going on? But I wouldn't change it. This is what I want to do. It's just part of it. You know,
Part of the journey.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And like, I have I have a product which when I wake up in the morning, hundreds of people have used, and I've got the best brands in the world using it from an idea that I had in my head. And I watch people use it or talk about it. That is worth all the comes with it. All the scars, as people say, or whatever. You know, like, I wake up every morning and people are using something while I'm sleeping. That's
it's rewarding for sure.
That's a great ending and real, by the way, that last minute. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Boom.